committee meeting for May 24th, 2022, to order at 7:02 p.m. All members from council are present, except for Councilwoman Kroniak is absent and excused. All members of the administration are present except for Mayor Morley, who is absent and excused. If there's anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public, will you please identify yourself so fellow attendees know they're being recorded. Seeing none, the city is like recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed, we have legislation number 05-24-01, a resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to advance funds with said funds to be advanced from fund number 101 General Fund to the amount as listed in fund number 204 State and Local Fiscal Recovery and declaring emergency. Ishida?
Thank you. The money that we got for the Kaplan Stadium, the money that we got for the repair maintenance, the money that we got for the Captain's Life, as well as the Galena Harbor money, are all state and local fiscal recovery money. The state has requested that we separate those into a new fund. Therefore, Fund 204 will become state and local fiscal recovery. The problem with doing that is that you can't write a check until money comes in, and unfortunately, we can't get money in until we write the check. So we're asking for an advance, at least at this point in time, $500,000, so that if there is any check associated with any one of those three projects, we'd at least be able to start writing checks until we were reimbursed. So this is just to advance this new fund from cash so it could write checks so it could be reimbursed.
Are there any questions for the Finance Director? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-24-02, an ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the City of East Lake, State of Ohio, for the period beginning January 1st, 2022, and ending December 31st, 2022, to declare an emergency.
Thank you. We had originally put the Captain's Life and the Harbor grant into state grant funds of 207. Since we're creating a new fund to keep track of state and local fiscal recovery money, I'm asking that we lower this fund 207 from 1.9,038,322, and that we move that into Fund 204, the new fund. And at the same time, 204 would need to be approved to spend the Captain's grant that we received. Therefore, the state and local fiscal recovery fund would be receiving and spending $6.238,322 million. And then the street opening deposits, because of the projects going on in the city with the new developments, I had not planned on refunding any deposits because I wasn't aware that deposits would be coming in this year, and then we would have to turn around and pay this right back out within a couple months, but that seems to be the case, moving so quickly that by the time we get the deposits, we're basically having to turn them around and repay those street opening deposits back, and we just don't have the ability to do that without changing the budget. It is money that has already been received. It's strictly turning their money that was a deposit. So that's, I'm asking for permission to increase the street opening deposit fund for those revenues that we are aware of that have come in up to the date of this report. We've received a couple more within the last 2 days, so I will be coming back to the next meeting with more.
Any questions for the Finance Director? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-24-03, resolution authorizing the Mayor and Director of Finance to file an application with the Lake County Planning Commission for funds through the Competitive Community Development Block Grant Program for the term of October 2022 through December 30th, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
This is the time of year that if you want to apply for CDBG funds, you must have a resolution selecting that you give us permission to apply for some CDBG funds. The CDBG funds from the last fiscal year were the ones used for the parking lot over at the Captain's Stadium. And this year, there's intention to use it to do storefront improvements along Pine Street.
Any questions from the Finance Director? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-24-04, a resolution recognizing the broad duty to affirmatively further fair housing in the city of East Lake County, Ohio, and declaring the emergency.
Thank you. In order to apply for CDBG funds, we must have a resolution stating affirmatively that we further fair housing in the city of East Lake. Therefore, this resolution is attached at the same time that we do the application for CDBG.
Any questions for the finance director? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation number 05-24-05. Resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Safety or a duly authorized representative to proceed with the solicitation of bids through an online public auction for the City of East Lake Police Department for the sale of various items as listed in Exhibit A and declare. Legislation number 05-24-05, the public auction for your surplus items.
We do the auction every year. We do it through the website now. It brings us more money, and it's much easier than bringing people in on overtime and staff as well to get it functioning.
Any questions for the chief? Thanks, chief.
In addition, if I could add, with the drug deals, with the two cars we just sold, typically we're getting $500 to $800 for those cars. The last two we got $31.50 each. So we're making considerable amount more money. The last guy coming from Michigan to pick it up. So I'm offering that expanded viewing portal has been really beneficial for the city.
Okay. Thank you, chief. And we'll move on to legislation number 05-24-06, a resolution accepting tax budget for 2023 as presented by the Director of Finance and declaring an emergency. Michelle?
Thank you. Every year in May, we have to present the tax budget proposal for 2023. What it does is that this is what the purpose of the tax levy, the real estate taxes, what the purpose of the real estate taxes are, and do we really need the funds? And our tax budget shows that we really do need these funds, and we're asking that you approve this so that it will be sent to county. These are done on county forms, and it's a standard procedure of housekeeping every year, but it's really just to show that, yes, we need these tax monies that come in from the real estate bill.
Are there any questions for Michelle? Seeing none, we'll move on to legislation pending. Legislation number 05-10-048, an ordinance amending section 770.11 operational requirements for medical marijuana dispensaries of the codified ordinances of the city to add section F and read as such and declaring an emergency.
This is the one we amended from last time because there was a small parcel of M2 property on Vine Street, just east of 360 First here. I understand when they were putting that M2 back in, so if that's the case, we just I would make the revision maybe and so just tell me how you want to proceed.
Well, we met with the building department. We discussed the fact that that's the only part. So there's a small parcel of the rest of council. There's a small piece of property on Vine Street that is M2. The rest of Vine Street is all M1. Zoning, after meeting with Mr. Mann, his opinion was we might have to go to the voters if we wish to change that, but we did give council the ability to rezone some of this past orders.
Yeah, what I would recommend we do is let's figure out why that little piece is still M2 because there may have been a reason that it's odd. So that'll take a little digging to figure out why it's M2. Maybe that'll change your opinion. Okay. I'll try to do that in the meantime. I did send everybody the map, so if you need to see the map to be a part of it, it's on the state's website. So that's not just tell me how you want to proceed after the next meeting. You guys just table tonight, or you can consider that.
Yeah, I think the thought is that if we open it up M2, we have it M2, and then it would be a little more area for potential
Yeah, that's certainly the case. It was some reason for that last time, I don't remember.
Okay.
So just let me know how you want to proceed.
Yeah, I'm fine leaving it, I'm fine leaving it like, well, this is official. We can always pay for it before we go.
Yeah, if you want,
It's easy.
if you want, you can just say it's table without objection, and they agree with the objection, or you can consider on the second.
Okay, very good. And under miscellaneous, we have a liquor license request for, Lake Shore Beverage, and that will be addressed in the regular council meeting. And with that, this council, the whole committee meeting is adjourned at 7:13. On the regular council meeting, May 24th, 2022, the market is 7:13 p.m. Mr. Overstreet, will lead us to the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Smith, here. Mr. Overstreet.
Here.
Mr. Clement.
Here.
Mr. Meyer.
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the regular council meeting of May 24th, 2022? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Swan.
Yes.
Mr. Clement.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis.
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt. Yes. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer.
Yes, the motion carries, the agenda is approved. The minutes from the last council meeting are not quite ready, we should have those at, the next council meeting. Our next civil council, the whole committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council of the whole committee. Mr. Scott, I believe you have a motion.
Mr. President, motion to approve liquor license request number 4935608 from Lakeshore Beverage LLC, doing business as Lakeshore Beverage, located at 35608 Lakeshore Boulevard, east of Ohio, Illinois.
Is there a second? Chief, so you have no issue? Sorry. Is there a second? Okay. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Swan.
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis. Ms. Schmidt. Yes. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes.
Mr. Clement.
Yes.
Mr. Meyer.
Yes, the motion's carried, the motion is approved. Mr. Piper, I believe you had, a second motion?
Yeah, if you folks remember, we had, what's called Lifeline Helping Hands, we objected to their liquor license. In the meantime, we had the mayor, the applicant, and your lawyer had a conference, and I know the mayor had a telephone call. They agreed on some conditions, seemed to settle everything to the mayor's satisfaction. We did go to the planning commission, they were approved at the planning commission, the mayor was there as well. They were intending on opening it as a restaurant when they waited for the liquor permit, but I don't think they've actually opened everything.
Yeah.
So they had a few different permits pending. They agreed to withdraw the one that allowed them to stay open until 2:30, in exchange for us withdrawing our objections and then pressing in to get started. The mayor indicated that we will withdraw that objection. I just need you guys to authorize me to withdraw that objection. The mayor seemed satisfied. All the objection gives you anyways is the hearing on the objection. There's no guarantee that it will be denied. So what I asked you is just a motion to allow me to withdraw our objections, and I'll handle that. They already did those on their side, and just went through their application that allows them to stay open until 2:30.
I have a, question for Mr. They will still be selling liquor, am I correct?
Yeah.
But they will not be open till, I assume you guys set time.
Yeah, it's, midnight, I believe.
Yeah, I think we did 11,
On the weekend.
yeah, on the weekend, they had some longer hours, so.
But they passed all their inspections with Cal Fire and building. They've done everything we've asked.
Yeah, and the meeting we had was productive, it was by telephone, I don't think she was present, if I remember, but we expressed our concerns and some of the concerns we have the other places, she seemed the same, so the mayor was, I got the mayor to pay the rates motion. That's all.
Okay. Any questions from anybody else in council?
Second.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Cotton?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Puckett?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried, the motion is approved. That's fine. All right. Okay, we'll move to committee reports. Mr. Scott, we have four of them.
Yep, we had a board authority meeting on the 19th. Major takeaways were from the court and you're going to go ahead and direction was supposed to start on Monday. And, there was some discussion over the lease and they were supposed to distribute it to the other board members. For them to review it for the sign. So,
Yeah, I would agree with that one. You guys figured out. Well,
and that's about it.
Any questions for Mr. Scott? How long was the dredging for?
He did not say.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. I believe we also had an ECDC meeting.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Smith?
We had a good meeting and, we finalized our key replacement campaign as well as our due with neighbors and board. So I'm going to give you guys the actual sheets tonight, but there's a few typos. And the mayor has seen those, so I will, send out and correct them to everybody. And then, we also discussed, how we're proceeding with the dog show, so we'll be helping with, finding vendors and dogs. And then, that was basically more finalizing a couple of campaigns we're doing. And then also, like I said, I'll give those to you guys, one of the questions,
Any questions for Mr. Smith? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. All right, we'll move on to recognition of the public. It's now open for recognition of the public. Next speakers, all of ours will be directed to the chair. We're not involved personalities, we're limited to 3 minutes per person, 30 minutes total. We have one person that is signed up to come up with. And if you would, could you state your name and address for the record?
This is Joy Klein, K-L-E-I-N, and that's 361 Woodstock Road, in this place. So, I'm going to approach you guys real quick and show you something. So anyway, I don't know if this is the right place that I'm coming to, but I'm kind of like at desperate. I have a house next to me, and the older gentleman lives there, and he hasn't been there in the last couple of years. However, the house does not have a foundation underneath, and there is water underneath it. So when he was there, he was taking a sub pump and putting it in underneath the house, and he was making the water go down the street because he doesn't have any drainage or anything. So in the last 2 years, he hasn't been there. So we keep going over there and sticking something in there to try to get the water to go. I don't think it's my responsibility to go over my neighbor's house and move this water. And you look at the picture, it's disgusting. Now mind you, the front of the house is not directly being cut now. My husband's trying to cut the grass because it goes my house, his house, property for sale, and then another house. No one's gonna take that property with him here. My intentions are not to hurt him or get him in trouble, but he's not residing there. And it's nothing. The other day when it was 90, we literally had to take the leach down our fence line. Because now that he's not pumping the water comes up and it goes underneath the fence and it comes into my yard now. So, I talked and John tried to help me. The city went out there, they can write them umpteen citations to go to court and they won't do anything. Health department, 2 people, not 1. review suggestion, something, because now I have a granddaughter. I'm sitting in my backyard, and that stench is not right. My yard doesn't look like that, and I keep up my yard, and I understand he's an older man. And then I may have called and indicated that this car was in the driveway with a flat tire, with a broken axle, with expired plate. However, I learned that if you put the car inside a building, you don't have to do anything about it. So we did it yesterday. It was right in the garage. So she's mad at me over there yesterday. Doesn't turn on the water underneath the house. She's mad because I indicated on the car that it's fire. Anybody?
Yeah, we're trying to get the man, the person who lives there help. He got on the block grant program through the county, and the county, as of last year, is still trying to work with them to get the water problem solved underneath the house. It's gonna be quite a bit of work. We did a report, we turned it over to the county, and we haven't heard anything back from them. But they were gonna put it out to bid and to see if they can give them help. At this time, we can't just, someone owns the house. We understand there's a problem with the underneath of the house. But we are trying to do what we can to get them help. But no one from the family has reached out to us either. I can check with the county, see where they're at with the situation. If they just gave up on it, or they are still trying to do something. So they were under our block grant program.
I mean, he's been out of it almost since when COVID hit, he got sick, so he lives in Willoughby with his daughter now. So he's not even in the house. And, as far as, like, there's no foundation underneath that house.
Yeah, we wrote it all
Oh,
up.
yes.
Again, he
Yeah.
qualified.
And we tried to talk to her, and Tim, my husband, got the paperwork because they had that money, like, that the residents could, apply for that, and they wouldn't have to pay it back or anything. And my husband got the paperwork, dropped it off to the daughter to fill it out for him, but she was more concerned about getting him a COVID shot. He's living in, I literally walked the paper to you. So the other day when he had stopped by, because he was out trying to do things in the garage, we get the car in there now, and my husband even said to him, he's behind the taxes too. Well, then we'll buy it from you. We'll buy it, we'll bulldozer it. It'll be a nice little area. I mean, I don't know about someone with this water, especially with him not living.
Sometimes the problem is there's no easy fixes because they're expensive fixes. That sounds like that's the problem.
Massive.
Yeah, and so
Massive.
if a homeowner doesn't have this, we see this a lot, even with elderly folks who might have gutter problems. The gutters are massive expenses for somebody as well.
Well, the gutter that you see in that picture, my uncle took the gutter down and fixed it because when we walked out the back door, that was the first thing we saw was the gutter hanging there.
There's not much, that my point was, there's not much they can do. Dave's kind of the point on that, that
Right.
they can help them find whatever funds are available. So,
They did fill out the application, they did qualify, and again, we left it with the county, because they were gonna give them help with the block grant program. But I can reach out to them and see if there's any movement or anything. So I'll do that.
Yeah, we appreciate that, thank you. I would suggest the mayor's out of town, but maybe follow up with the mayor next week when he's back,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah,
You can maybe reach out and see if there's any, Mr. Renz said, see if there's any movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judy was also
Right.
working with that program with us. So she may know something I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I just want to put it out there, I don't know what else to do. I don't, so you guys are my last.
Wait a second.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Is there anyone else who wishes to address council? Alright, we'll move on to legislation proposal. The clerk please read legislation number 05-24-01.
A resolution authorizing the Director of Finance to advance funds to such fund state grants from Fund 101, General Fund, in the amount as listed, into Fund 204, State and Local Fiscal Recovery and Declaring an Emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. The clerk please read legislation number 05-24-02.
An ordinance to reappropriate for the expenses of the city of Lake State of Ohio for the period beginning January 1st, 2022, and ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-24-03.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to file an application with the Lake County Planning Commission for funds through the competitive community development block grant program for the term of October 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full? Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-24-04.
A resolution recognizing the broad need to affirmatively further fair housing in the city of Lake County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-24-05.
A resolution authorizing and directing the Director of Public Safety and the duly authorized representative to proceed with the solicitation of bids through an online public auction to the City of East Lake Police Department for the sale of various items as listed in Exhibit A and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read in full?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. The motion is carried. The legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 05-24-06.
A resolution accepting the tax budget for 2023 as presented by the Director of Finance declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules requiring separate reading to read in full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt? Yes. Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Under legislation pending, we have legislation number 05-10-04-A. And this is on second reading. And it will be on third reading at the next meeting. No unfinished business, we have no new business. We'll move on to administrative reports. Our first report is from our head chief, Ted Whitaker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Really don't have much of a report. I think that we're getting into the summer season, and I think as busy as all the departments seem to be getting, I don't know where this message actually goes, but slowing down the observance of people being on the street, kids are on the street now, or bicycles on the street. I just think it's a good opportunity to remind everybody that we're moving to state where people are outdoors, and we need to keep your time a little bit around. We've seen a lot more speeders and different kinds of things that we call problems for our country. So anyway, that's all I have.
Questions for the fire chief? Seeing none, thank you, chief. We'll move on to our police chief, Larry Wright.
Yeah, I concur with the fire chief, just be a little more observant during the summer, and, things are starting to pick up, so both police and fire. I'm sure we'll make it another summer. You know, we got a couple of events planned for the city, and, with that, the questions.
Any questions for the chief? Mr. Singh?
Was our incident where a woman was abducted or something, and there was a human trafficking issue? Is that something that the community should really be worried about, human trafficking, or is that something that's over?
Well, I mean, human trafficking is happening all over the country in different capacities. We don't believe that was the case after everything played out with this event. We went with the information we had some ideas that things weren't all as they were reported, but we'd always rather err on the side of caution. We did locate her. Her family had been in touch with her for hours before. They really been helping all getting us to ensure that she was safe. And when we finally did that, any other situations or concerns were remedied, and she was not in danger. But again, as reports come in, that's how we have to begin our response. And then when the media pick up on it, you know, the worst thing we can say is no comment and have them run with their own story. So we're trying to give them what we had without, just again, erring on the side of caution.
Any other questions for the chief? I just want to take a vote that chiefs, we had council on the opportunity to have dinner at the fire station, and then to tour both the police and fire station last week, and very informative, and we thank you for having us. All right, we'll move on to our chief building official, Dave Manning.
So I got a tip Saturday that there was a hot dog stand out there on Lake Shore. So I did meet with her. She was very polite and everything. She came in yesterday, registered with us, and so she's good to go now. The other thing on the block grant I'll touch for some of the newer ones is that we started a block grant program last year. And again, the people had to qualify. And our part was to go out, look at their homes, and see that the work they were asking for would be qualified. And once we made that determination, we wrote up a report, and then we turned it in back to the county. And from that point, the county took over. So where it all stands, I know they're still probably a year behind with getting contractors. It's a lot. Finding people that will do work for the money, there's a lot involved. But again, I will follow up with the county on this case and see if there is any movement, and I'll report back. And the other thing is, I noticed some people are finding contractors on different ways. We do our best. We don't see all the work out there. But if you talk to anybody, the contractors should register, and more likely they, permit with the city. We're finding out, people are hiring people that have work done, and then calling us and yelling at us because we didn't know anything about it. So, again, we do our best we can, we don't see anything. So that's about it for my report.
Any questions, Mr. Mayor? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll move on to our service director, Kevin Fowler.
We also are into our busy part of the year, like the other departments. Our part-time summer help has started. I think we have 4 of them on board now, so we're trying to get caught up with the grass cutting, which is nearly impossible with this weather. But we're working there diligently. We've been working on the patching of the roads as well. We did have a couple of flooding events, a couple of issues that we worked out and resolved, and a couple we're still working with, and we'll continue to. And I think Monday the 30th, I'm pretty sure everybody's aware that there's an event for Memorial Day at the gazebo, 11 o'clock, I think it is. Other than that, in preparation for that, we have the flags up and the banners up, and that concludes my report. Any questions?
Are there any questions for the director? Seeing none, thank you. We'll move on to our city engineer, Mr. White.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Paving on Gully was finished last week. We're moving into landscaping. Hopefully that'll be a distant memory soon. St. Lawrence, the work there should be finished sometime around June 20th, plus or minus. 361st, we still have some slab repairs to do, just a little bit south of the intersection, which should also be done by June 20th.
Any questions for Mr. White? Thank you, Mr. We'll move on to our finance director, Carol Anschenbeck.
Thank you. Our year-end December 31st, 2021 financial statement prepared in accordance with governmental accounting standards should be filed, I think, tomorrow with the auditor's office or the state's office, and at that point in time, then copies will be forwarded to you. Please note that they are different than the ones that you would normally see. These are prepared in accordance with governmental accounting standards, which means we have all our data on there, which means we have all our capital assets on there. We have our payables, receivables, and inventory, and things that I just don't normally keep track of on a monthly basis. Because we do cash. But nonetheless, those report by email. So you should be getting a shortly. As soon as I report, I'm open for questions.
Are there any questions for the finance director? Thank you, Mr. Bell. And with that, we'll move on to our law director, Ray Clement.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm open for questions.
Any questions for the law director? All right. Seeing none. I think it is adjourned at 7:41 p.m.
You have to go through all this stuff, opening up all these accounts, and putting money in before you get the grant money.
Well, exactly right, because my grants are reimbursed basis, but I don't have cash to right to bid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then you get reimbursed.
Yep. Yep.
So to get that kind of money, you have to have quite a bit of money.
Yeah, that's some cash.
You can't have, well, money.
That's right. You have to have money to ask for help. It's ridiculous.
oh, yeah. No, 17.